So I just want to say thank you to all the persons who watched my first video. The support was really overwhelming and I feel so elated to have subscribers like you. Continue to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. Alright, welcome back to my channel, Chilling with Anna. It's your girl and I'm here today to share with you some tips on writing the argumentative essay for your CSEC English A exams. Now, I did a survey and I realized that some students wanted to know how they can approach the argumentative essay. So I am an English language teacher. I teach English language at the CSEC level and also at the CAPE level, which is called Communication Studies at the Port Antonio High School. I also teach English literature and literatures in English. Now, on to the reason why I am making this video. So, the argumentative essay is like a persuasive essay that is given to students on the CSEC paper 2. It is section D of the paper, and suggested time to write is about 45 to 50 minutes, where students are asked to write an argumentative essay based on a topic that they are given. Now, for this section, you only get only one question. Time's gone by, you could have gotten something to choose from, but from years or recent years, we see where we only get one question, and so whether you know it or know it not, you have to write about it. So when you get this question, what do? The first thing that you do, read the question carefully and also make note of the word limit. The word limit is usually 250 to 300 words, so it means that you have to get straight to the point. Don't go around the world and run a mastam and run a Tom, Dick and Harry before you come back to where you're supposed to be. Get straight to the point. Alright, so let's go. You get one question. You're going to think about it carefully. After you have read it, there's a little box before you start writing on the lines where you can make your notes. Now in that box, you are going to draw a table, and I'm going to insert something here where you can draw the table. Alright, so you must have seen the table. After you draw your table, you're going to put agree on one side and disagree on the other side. And you're going to number 1, 2, 3 on the agree and 1, 2, 3 on the disagree, because you must have at least 3 points to discuss in your essay. Right? So after you have written your 3 points, say for example, you find your 3 points for the agree side and only 1 point for the disagree side. Always go with the side that you have the most points for. Even if it is harder to debate, you are going to write it, because when you go with the side that you have less points for, it is going to be harder to find other points when you'll be wasting that time when you could be writing the essay on the side that you have the most points for. So always write your essay on the side that you have the most points for. The argumentative essay is like a debate. So you are trying to convince or persuade persons to think that your argument or your side is what they should take into consideration. So that is why when we are writing the essay, we have to use persuasive techniques, right? And we're going to learn more about that as we go along. So your first step, as I said, was to draw your little table in the box, write your agree, write your disagree, find your points. After you have found your points, then number 2 is you are going to number your points or rank them from the strongest point to the weakest point, right? So that when you are writing your essay, you start with your strongest point and you end with your weakest point. That's step number 2. Then now, step number 3 is going into the essay itself, right? The essay has 5 paragraphs. Always aim to have 5 paragraphs, not less. It can be more, but 5 paragraphs are sufficient for the essay. The first paragraph is your introductory paragraph, right? It is the first paragraph that the reader or the marker is going to see. So you want to ensure that you set the foundation properly. You know, like when you're building a house, you have the foundation first. If the foundation is not good, if the foundation is not solid, then that house is going to crumble. Same thing like your essay. If the foundation or the introductory essay is not formulated properly, then the rest of the essay is going to crumble. And we don't want that. We want good marks. So please ensure that your introductory paragraph, where we get essay from? I'm going to talk so much. Anyway, your introductory paragraph, ensure that it is good. Now, there are some elements that should always be included in your introductory paragraph, right? So the first thing you're going to have in your introductory paragraph is your hook, right? A hook. The hook is the first statement that the person reading or marking your essay will see, and it is also called an attention grabbing statement. You know what people use hook for? Fishermen, they use hooks and they put bait on it to catch the fish, because if you just put the source of hook in there, then you're not going to catch the fish. You have to ensure that you have the proper bait or the appropriate bait to put on it to catch the fish that you want, right? And when you put out your hook with a bait on it and you catch the big fish, you say, yay, thank God me catch my fish. So now when you are writing your essay, you have to ensure that the hook that you put out has the right bait on it to catch the reader's attention. So your hook is a statement. It can be in the form of a rhetorical question, or it can be in the form of a general statement. It can be in the form of a famous quotation, or it can be from a line of a song. But once it is related to the question that you are asked to write about, then you have sold your reader. For example, a question was given on a recent paper that says, crime among youth is as a result of poor parenting. That was the question that was given. So say, for example, you'd want to use a question to start off your essay, right? Let's say we agree that crime among the youth is as a result of poor parenting. An example of a hook could be, have you seen the recent increase in crime among the youth in Jamaica? Can this really be as a result of poor parenting? Or you could say, another question then could be, let's say that we disagree. Then another question could be, if you're starting with a hook in the form of a question, you could say, do you really think that poor parenting is the main contributor towards crime among the youth in Jamaica? You know, things like these that can help to spark the reader's attention, make them want to think about, what it is you're going to write about. You know, it makes them want to read more. So I want you to catch the gist of what I'm saying. Using a hook, it allows the reader to want to know more about your essay. So it is very important that you use the right one that will grab their attention. Now, after you have your hook, then you're going to write some general information about the topic. You know, so in this case, you could write something about crime, something about the youth, just 2 or 3 lines explaining what you think about the crime rate, what you think about how it relates to the youth in Jamaica. And then after those 2 or 3 lines now, then you're going to have your stance, which is the line that states whether you agree or whether you disagree with the topic, because you have to ensure that you state the stance that you have taken on the topic. So the first thing you have in your introduction is the hook, then you have your general information, and then after that you are going to state your stance. After you have stated your stance now, then you are going to have your thesis statement, and this is very important, your thesis statement, right? And this statement tells us the 3 points that you are going to be discussing in your essay, right? So remember that before we made our table with our 3 points and we ranked them from the strongest point to the weakest point. So here is where you are going to state these points, because you're going to be discussing them in the body paragraphs. So in the introduction, going over, you're going to have your hook, then you're going to have your general statement or just a general introduction about the topic that you are writing about, 2 or 3 lines. Then you are going to state your stance, which is whether you agree or disagree with the topic, and then now you are going to state your thesis statement, which is the line that lists the 3 points that you'll be discussing in your body paragraphs. All right, so we're finished with the introduction now. Foundation is laid. We're going straight into the body paragraphs, right? Now, the body paragraphs are going to outline the 3 points that you mentioned in your thesis statement, right? So each point will have its own paragraph 1 is introduction, then paragraph 2 is point 1 explained, paragraph 3 is point 2 explained, and then paragraph 4 is point 3 explained. So we have our point. The first thing you're going to ensure that you are in line with what a paragraph should have. Now, the parts of a paragraph are topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. So the first line that we're going to read for your paragraph or your body paragraph is the topic sentence. And the topic sentence is explaining what the paragraph is going to be about. So your topic sentence will state the point, your first point, and then now you are going to explain, you're going to give details, you're going to give examples, while you are also coupling all of these details with the persuasive techniques, because they should be seen throughout the essay, right? And then you're going to continue doing that for paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. So for the 3 points, you are going to state the point that you are going to be discussing, and then you're going to give relevant examples, relevant details, right? You want to ensure that it is clear what you are saying. Do not stray from the point. Stay directly on point, right? And then after you have discussed those now, ensure you check to ensure that you have used persuasive techniques throughout your body paragraphs, right? And that would cover paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. So remember, we're building the house. So now that we have the foundation, now we're setting up the room structure. So the body paragraphs would have been like the roof, the room structure. Sorry, roof, where we get roof from? Why? The room structure. So one paragraph would be the bathroom, one would be a bedroom, and one would be the living room or the kitchen, whichever one you choose. But we're setting up the house properly. So we have the introduction, we have our body paragraphs, and then the last paragraph that we're going to have is the concluding paragraph. So now we're putting on the roof of the house, right? We're painting, and when they call it something there, when they do after they put the black render, whatever that is, render, all of those things. So putting on the finishing touches of the house, and we're going to paint, putting on the roof, and all of that, putting in the light. So this is what the concluding paragraph is like, the finishing touch of the essay, because you want your essay to look good, you want the essay to sound good, right? And so we're ensuring that we're doing all of that. So for your concluding paragraph, you are going to restate your stance. You're going to summarize basically what you said in the paragraphs before, right? So you're going to like just list the points again that you mentioned before, and you're also going to have a counter argument. Now, the counter argument is just one point that is showing a different view of the stance that you took throughout your entire essay. So let's say that throughout the essay you agreed with the topic. Then in the conclusion for your counter argument, you're just going to make like one statement that disagrees with the topic, just to show what other persons might think that opposes your view, right? And vice versa. So if you did disagree during the essay, then for the counter argument you are going to agree. Just one point or one line that states an opposite view of what you said throughout your essay. But even though you would have all of your paragraphs, so that concludes for the 5. So you have the introductory paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, plus the concluding paragraph, that is 5, right? So the other thing that you need to take into consideration is that they not only mark for content, but they mark for organization, right? So you don't just throw this paragraph here, so throw this paragraph there and expect that you're going to get the marks. You have to ensure that your essay is done orderly. So for example, when you are discussing your body paragraphs, you put words that show that you are doing it in sequence. And remember that we learned about sequencing from grade 8, grade 9, or even grade 7. So for example, you put the first point to be discussed is, and then for the second one you say the second point to be discussed is, or you can put firstly or secondly or thirdly. Ensure that your thing is in sequence. So don't put the first body paragraph and you put the introduction second. Ensure that your essay is in order, because you're getting marked for that. You're getting marked for grammar. So you have to ensure that you have the proper subject-verb agreement, right? Ensure that you are writing in the correct tense. So you can't mix past tense, present tense, and future tense in the one essay. Knowing that don't make no sense. Ensure you stick to the tense that you are supposed to write in. Also, they're marking for spelling. Yes, spelling. I mean, no say, don't like to spell, but you have to learn to spell, because they're marking for that. No shortened words, because I realize that you guys like to write just like how you text, and because you start texting short-handed, there it goes in your writing, right? And that is not acceptable. So ensure that your spelling is correct, your grammar is correct, your punctuation, ensure your punctuation is correct. Guys, please, because you don't like to write with commas, you don't like to write with full stop, you don't like to write with semicolon, you don't like to write with capital letters. All of these things are being marked for. So even if you have excellent content, and content is good to have, these other little things now, which would have been the furniture and the little table and the little plate and the cup we put in your house to make sure say visitors then comfortable when they come, these are the things that will make your essay wholesome. Your punctuation, your grammar, your capitalization, your sentence structure. Ensure that you have complete sentences. Don't just leave half a sentence over here and then finish it gone. You have run-on sentences. You have sentences that are not complete. You have to ensure that you read over your work to ensure that these things are in your essay, right? So once you have that, then your argumentative essay will be good to go. So the things you should have in your argumentative essay: 1, you should have your 5 paragraphs, your introductory paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, and your conclusion. Also, ensure that you have your punctuation, your grammar, your spelling. Reread your work to ensure that all of those are included. And ensure that you have your persuasive techniques ready, right? Because even though you have your content, if you don't have your persuasive techniques, then you won't be marked for that, and you need the marks for that. And we want full marks for the argumentative essay, Remember, it's 250 to 300 words. So, and that now will leave, a little bit of word that, and a lot of you always complain that to miss 250 words long, but by the time you start writing, you're surprised to say you reach 100 words already and you start discuss the essay yet. So you have to ensure that you stick to the point. Stick to the point. Stick to the point. You should have 5 paragraphs: introduction, 3 body paragraphs, conclusion, right? And your persuasive technique. So you can have rhetorical question, use of evidence, use of statistics, emotional appeal, use of authoritative evidence, use of statistics. Listen, a lot of them are out there. This is just a revision video because I know you would have been taught already by your teacher. This is just some additional information that will help you. I hope that this video was helpful, or that it helped to make something clearer for someone out there. Just put in the comments below if you want me to do any more videos on any other part of English language, CSEC or not, that you would like me to look at, whether literature or communication studies or literatures in English. Let me know and I will be sure to help you to get a clearer understanding of that section of the paper. If you know someone who is doing English CSEC that would like some more clarity on their argumentative writing and this can help them, just don't hesitate to share it with them. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We're going to be doing a lot of content. Just stay tuned, stick around for more exciting videos coming ahead. I'm going to be having a Q&A soon, so look out for that. And if you have any questions that you would like answered on that Q&A session, you can also go ahead and put it in the comments below and I'll be sure to take a look at it. Alright guys, bye.